There we go. Hello, friends. I think that's my microphone. Feels pretty good. Let me double check the filters. Having some technical difficulties here. Bear with me, everybody. I'm so sorry. Up. I think that's it. Welcome back. All right. Sorry about that, everybody. I think my mic should be working now. Yeah. Welcome back. I have been playing with Cursor quite a bit last few days. Cursor is a I don't know how to describe it. It's a AI assisted coder, AI assisted co-editor. And like the idea is you can hook it up to OpenAI, Claude, or any of the other thousands of models there are now, hundreds of models there are now. It's basically a fork of Visual Studio Code where it can go in and not only you can get the code from the AI, but then it'll apply the code that you get from the AI, which is great if you're a beginner or a intermediate developer. It's probably less great if you're an expert developer who's really only asking for the changes they want and they know how to do the changes themselves. But for someone like me who sometimes struggles applying the changes the AI gives me, this has been a really cool tool. So I ended up subscribing, but you can download it for free and use up the trial to try it out. I used up my fast credits in about 3 days, like my month's worth of Claude credits. So, what I ended up doing was I talked to a friend of mine, Shamanic Arts, and he hooked me up with a company called OpenRouter. OpenRouter.ai, OpenRouter, ROUTER.ai, OpenRouter.ai. Hey, look, it came through. They provide API endpoints for all these models. So you're just paying for their, GPU usage to do the inference. But it's like to use the DeepSeek model, it's 15 cents for a million tokens and 30 cents for a million tokens out. Whereas, pay as you go Claude and stuff like that. How much is Sonnet? Yeah, Sonnet's $3.15. Opus. That's for a million tokens in and out. 15 and $75. So as you can see, DeepSeek version 2.5, which is a great chat and code model, is only 14 cents, 28 cents. I put like $5 in this, and I've used $1 in the last like 4 days or so, and that's a lot better than the other credits. So yeah, DeepSeek. So I can talk about how to set all this up if you guys want to check it out. Basically, go to Cursor, download Cursor. Bloop-a-doop-a-doop, get it, download it, install it. It's Windows only, I think. Yeah, it's probably Windows only. Yeah. But There might be a Mac version of this. I didn't even look into it. Sorry, Mac people. This is actually a great use case for Macs with them chips, because like VLMs and stuff like that, you could actually run a lot of these locally. I wonder if you could run DeepSeek locally, actually. Definitely worth looking into. All right. But whatever. So yeah, sorry if it doesn't run on Mac, but there's got to be some AI embedded coder thing. But yeah, I see. Yeah, I think I saw Quen on there. Yeah, Quen 2.5, 72B, and it is actually it's about double double the cost of DeepSeek. So I may try this out if DeepSeek runs into trouble. I'll think of this as a bigger sort of bigger brain, maybe. Yeah. All right. So go to go to Cursor, download it, install it. It's just going to install a text editor called Cursor. Sign up for the trial, and then it'll look just like here. Let me squish it down a bit. Try to get the whole screen in here. So Control D and then up a bit. Perfect. Okay. Okay, here's my whole screen. If you guys can't read the text, excuse me, just going sore throat. If you guys can't read the text, just let me know. Let me know, and I'll zoom in. Okay. Not here, but when we actually get kicking. Okay, so this is the full cursor window. It's just like VS Code. If you ever use VS Code, it's the same. It's a fork, I think, of VS Code. So then, when you get your starter credits, you can just use the built-in models to start and try it out. But if you want to set up the OpenRouter thing to use the cheaper API credits, just go over to OpenRouter, set up your account, log in, and then just create it. Go to keys and create an API key, and then when you create the key, you set the name, and then you say how much money you're willing to spend on this key. Excuse me. So for my testing, I wanted to spend $1 to see how long that would last me on DeepSeek. I've put in $1 3 days ago, and I have 57 cents remaining on that dollar, so it's pretty good. So yeah, then I just put $5 in the account with the wallet thing, and then it takes money and crypto. As far as I know, this is the same CTO as the guy from OpenSea, so pretty big company. I'm sure it's fine. Integrations of yeah. So as you get your API key, it's going to give you this key. You got to write it down and save it. You'll never be able to see it again, so save it somewhere so that you can use it until you run out. It doesn't necessarily put all that money in that API key. Like, it's fine if you lose it. You'll have to make a new one. That's all. So yeah, make your API key. Pick your model. I pick DeepSeek. I don't even know if you have to pick a model. I don't think you do. And then when you get back in Cursor, if you go to the preferences, cursor settings, and go to models, all the models that are available to you in Cursor are in this drop-down list. Can I zoom in a bit? Yeah, nice. Beautiful. Okay. All the models available to you in the drop-down list. I've already burned my credits with these, so I turned off all the fast models. And I added one, add model, DeepSeek/DeepSeek chat. And then down here, your OpenAI key. You turn that on. You turn you put your not OpenAI key, like the key you got from OpenRouter in there, and then you use the override OpenAI base URL, and you paste in this URL here. Let me zoom in. https://openrouter.ai/API/v1. That takes over the API key for, or the destination for the API key, which allows it to just use the OpenAI API key code to do a regular OpenRouter thing with DeepSeek. This opens up you to be able to use any model you want in the world with cursors. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So there we go. Blah, 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 blah. So that's what I've been doing. And so now that that's all set up, we can go back to cursor and yeah, let's just start a new file. So we got a new text file. And so this is just like a text editor with, code completion and all kinds of really fun stuff. Yeah, I'm going to zoom in a bit so it's bigger. Yeah. All right. But the best, coolest part about it is it has this pane on the side here. So if you go up to the top, see this toggle AI panel or pane. Click that, and it's going to bring this pane out on the right. And in the pane, you can ask whatever chat. You see, I had all the other ones deselected, so they're not in this chat anymore, this list anymore. All the models you have selected are in this list, so you can pick which one you want to talk to. And now when I have a file open, like this file right now is nothing. It's just an untitled file. But when we have files, we can add them to the context of the discussion we're having with the AI. So it's looking at the files you give it constantly, and it's different than having to go and always paste your code in. It's like it's inline, so like it just works. Like it's really slick. But let's try something. So I'm gonna ask DeepSeek. So to keep it all in one spot, I'm gonna go to OpenRouter to start and to start a chat, and this will let you try out all the different models with OpenRouter. So we can try a DeepSeek here. Oop, we'll just start a DeepSeek chat. And I'll say, hello, can we create a React 3? We're going to try a React.js 3.js project tonight, just like an art generator thing. It's a little fun toy to play with. And then we're going to deploy it on Versal and have like a web deployable fun toy that you can play with, and then hopefully the sort of skeleton to build your own stuff, and then send the links out and people can play with them. But we'll try them out. All right, but we'll start here first with something super simple, like just looking at a cube. Like we're basically going to make a Blender scene, and then we're going to do stuff to it. Because 3.js is like basically WebGL based 3D stuff for the web. Yeah. I don't even know if it's WebGL. I think it is. All right. DeepSeek, hello. Can we create a React 3.js? So I'm going to say React.js 3.js project with a cube and a camera and a light. Let's turn the cube 45 degrees. And let's add Tailwind CSS to handle menus and responsiveness. So hopefully this will make us a little thing and a little guide on how we can deploy it. So let's find out. Pretty cool. So this looks scary and it's a lot of code, but we're going to go through it all and we're going to set up the scene and try it out and see what happens. And then we're just going to start debugging things, and we're not going to freak out when we see errors. We're going to read what the error says and ask the AI and Google it and walk things back if they break. And you know what? It's going to be fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. If I keep saying it, it'll be true. Okay. So this is going to give us nice detailed instructions on how to set up a React environment, Node package manager environment, which is what I want to set up right now. So I've got my chat here, and I'm going to squish that down and get rid of you. Okay. First things first, we need Node package manager. So open up your browser. If you don't have this already, go to nodejs.org. Nodejs.org. Download Node.js, the long-term support edition. Just install it with default settings in Windows. You just want it so that when you go to your Windows command and type npm, things happen. That's Node Package Manager. Node Package Manager is going to let us build these little projects out, and then when they're done, we just commit them to GitHub and push them through, and there's nothing to it. So this is going to be a bit of a chonky tutorial type situation as far as setting up a Node environment, but this will let you set up anything you want to run a web server on your computer locally while you work on it, and then deploy it to the actual internet later. This is like a really cool way to do that yourself. So let's get kicking. Node.js, download that, install it, run the installer. I think all the default settings are fine. Trying to think what else we might need. We might need pip, but I don't think so. I think this is all JavaScript, so let's stick with just npm for now. So npm, and I think npx is also should be included with npm. But somebody can scream in the chat if it isn't. So I'm going to go to let's make a folder on my C drive called code, and go into code and make a folder called nothing. So we're going to look at these commands here. So we need to, we're going to set up this project here, and we're going to look at this command. So it's npx, Node Package Manager, except it's like Node Package Creator. Create React app. Threi.js React Tailwind is the name of the, like the name they gave us. This is the name of the project. Let's try this ourselves. npx create React app. And we're going to call this one Threi.js. And for now, I'm going to call it stream because it's our stream project. So then Node Package Manager is going to go in and set up an environment for React, like, a functioning web environment. There we go. 262 packages are looking for funding. Added 1,480 packages. All right. All right. So let's go into our folder, cd space Threi.js-stream. That's the one we just made. And it's made us a nice little template skeleton here for a React project. With now we need to use Node Package Manager to install all the packages that we require. So we're going to run this command here. npm install Threi, React 3 fiber, React 3 drei, which is a collection of useful helpers and abstractions for React 3 fiber. Tailwind is our CSS framework that's going to make everything look pretty. Post CSS is like, Post CSS and auto prefixer are required for Tailwind, the way Tailwind works. But basically, Tailwind will make your site look nicer by giving you sort of basic cards and structures and things you can just start from, so you don't have to build everything yourself. So let's start. We're going to npm install all that stuff in the Three.js stream folder. And this won't take super long. Yeah. Now we're going to configure Tailwind CSS, which is the next command. npx Tailwind CSS init. And that's going to give us a Tailwind config.js and a post CSS config.js. The only file we need to edit is tailwind config.js, but that'll come up later in the thing. Okay, so let's zoom in on this a bit so anyone following along can follow along. npx create app 3.js, whatever you want to call it. Go into that whatever you want to call it folder. Install the dependencies. Set up Tailwind CSS. And then we have to update Tailwind the config.js. So now that we have the skeleton built, we can go back into Cursor. And the reason I did this in a separate browser is because in Cursor, as soon as I do what I'm about to do, it's going to get rid of your chat that you had with the fake document. So it's good to start this conversation somewhere and then take it to Cursor once you have some files you want to open. So now we have a folder I want to open called C code 3.js stream. I'm going to open that folder, the folder we just made. And that's going to open the entire project in Cursor. So now Cursor's open. If I go into the source folder, I've got my app.js with all the code for the wrapper. And then if we, go in our index, there's our CSS files and blah, 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 blah. There's the Tailwind config.js file. So it said to update Tailwind config.js to include the path to your template files. So I'm going to copy this whole chunk and I'm going to paste it into our new Tailwind config file. And I'm going to Control S or file, save it. Control S, save. So we've made our first change. Next thing we need to do is add the Tailwind directives to your source index.css file. So we're going to grab that. We're going to go to our source index.css file. Go to the top right above body and drop that there and hit Control S or file save. Now we have Tailwind in our project. We need to make the scene. So we got source 3scene.js. So go back over to Cursor, right click on source, new file, 3scene.js. Capitalization is incredibly important with this stuff. Make sure you don't mess around. Grab all the code for this file, paste it in, save it. Now we've got our scene. And the next thing we should have to do is set up the application for it. So source app.js, this file needs to be updated. Grab that, step 5, paste that in. And then step 6, run the project. So we've edited the files we needed to edit. We've saved them. Everything's in the right place. So now I can go back over to the thing that I was running. Let's get rid of all these. Sorry, these are from other experiments that are running in the background. Okay. Go to my code folder. Go to my Three.js stream. And what was the command it asked for? npm node package manager start. So if your project is all set up and everything's ready to go, you can start a web server if you have Node Package Manager installed by just typing npm start. So bickety boom, it is powering up a web server, and the URL for the web server is localhost port 3000. So if you go to localhost port 3000, you get your project. So we've done it. We've built a terrible looking web app. High five, everybody. Stream's over. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna keep iterating. Does this allow you to code anything within reason? Says Dave. No, it's AI coding is hard because of the context limitations. So once your project grows to a certain size, it's hard to code with AI as a beginner. But it's a great way to build the skills to become better to the point where you can then use the AI instead of having it build you like entire programs. The AI has turned into something where it's like it's just helping you change the things that need to be changed and helping you spitball ideas and stuff like that. So we could talk about that when time comes. Like an audio visualizer. Yeah, maybe if you'd have to have a little underlying knowledge, I think, to do something that heavy. But yeah, whatever. Okay, so there's our React project. It works. That's cool. Let's open up Cursor. So what I like to do is put Cursor over here, grab the project I'm working on, and just drop it over here somewhere. Make it nice and big. Refresh it. There we go. So I have my little preview window. Try and make it big enough that... The problem is I'm trying to make the text nice and big so you guys can read it. I've lost my AI pane. Okay. I use 2 monitors for this when I'm working, when you got your thing on the other one, but we'll just start like this for now. Okay, so everything's set up now. And you'll notice whenever I click on a file, it actually becomes the context of the conversation that I'm having with the bot. So let's go to 3scene.js. So this is our scene, right? It's cool. So I already know that if I want to change like the background color of the scene or material colors and things like that, I know how to do that. But we're just gonna ask the AI how to do it for some practice. So let's say I hate the blinding white background. We don't need a stupid menu, and orange is disgusting. All right, let's start there. So I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to maximize this for now. We'll go back and forth between the preview because I want you to be able to actually see. There it is, AI pane, and pull it out a bit. There, okay. Can we change the background to black, get rid of the toolbar or the header, and change the material on the cube to something shiny? We'll see if we can do 3 things at once. Usually you should just ask it for one thing, but these are pretty minimal changes, so we'll just let it do its business. When your program is tiny like this, it's okay to make like multiple changes. But later, when the project is beefier, we're going to back off on the amount of changes we ask for at any one time. Just kind of do things, one at a time, nice and slow. You kind of have to be able to walk back each tangent if you screw it up. Okay, so it said, sure, here are the necessary changes to achieve the desired effects. Change the background to black, remove the header, and change the material on the cube to something shiny. All right. Now it tells us what it did. Change style background black to the canvas component. That's not actually going to work, I think. Material change, added metalness and roughness, 0. No. I have a better method for that. Header removal, assuming you mean the default HTML removal, typical handle React. Okay, I can fix that myself. It's like fix that yourself, dude. So this is the cool part about Cursor. You hit apply and it uses yeah, of course. It uses the internal Cursor AI thing to make the changes that are in this code snippet. So here it's removing these the red lines and adding the green ones. So we'll accept those changes and it'll show it, and then we just save the file again. We can go back here and have a look at it. But now our cube is gone. Let's look. We have a scene. We have a camera. We have a cube. I asked for a shiny material. We have a point light. Our cube has disappeared. Is it too shiny to even be seen with no light? It's going to try and add a light to our scene. So this is a tough one where it's actually kind of hard to ask the AI problem. Ask the AI questions about your scene, where you have to think about it more as a 3D designer, like what's the problem right now, and then try to work out the problem. So it just told me it added a directional light, but it already exists. Maybe it'll change it from a point light. Maybe that'll matter. Accept, save, refresh. Not looking good though. Oh, I do see, for just a moment, there is a shiny little cube floating around. See that cube? It's there. Okay, so mesh standard material. What if and we swap out the mesh standard material for a long material? I think the light is bouncing too hard off the standard material to be seen properly. A Phong material has like specularity and the ability to reflect light off the surface. So it's a way of seeing the thing in the dark. So yeah, you just get used to it. You just apply, accept, save. There we go. And so we got this header. We're going to remove that ourselves. Let's look at our index.html. Public index. No, that's not it. App.js. Ah, here it is. We don't need these divs. We're just gonna, whoops. Should do it, I think. Let's have a look. Not quite, not quite. Let's try getting rid of this div, maybe. Nope. So we have app.js selected. So I'll be like, how can I get rid of the header and ensure that the Three.js scene remains full screen? Oh, I missed the container for the flex. All right, let's try that. Hey, there we go. It's cute. It's a cube, it's a cube, it's a cube, it's a cube, it's a cube. All with the power of AI. So what should we do with the cube? Do we even want to do a cube? I have an even better idea. So we have all this chat. We don't need this in the context because we're done with all this stuff for now. So hit this little new chat up here to reset the context of the chat. Go to that file we want to edit, which is 3scene. So this is our scene. We're going to edit. What I want to start doing is start spitballing some ideas for cool stuff we can do. I built a project the other night with some really cool spinning rings. So I think I'm going to just try and rebuild that, and we'll try and whack-a-mole all the problems that I came across, and we'll either fail or we won't. But yeah, it should be pretty cool. All right, let's start. Let's change the cube to a torus. A torus is a donut. So saying we need to import the torus function from DREI, the React 3 package we installed. Replace the box component with the torus component. Adjust the arguments and position properties for the torus. So it's going to replace our cube with a torus. All right, continue. Accept, save, and let's have a look. They weren't kidding. That's a torus. That torus is a little more donut shaped than I'd like. Can we make it skinnier and have a... Actually, no, skinnier is fine. Same diameter, but yeah, same diameter. So now we can see what it does to change the shape. The components are radius, tube, radial segments, and tubular segments. So it's telling us 1 is the radius and 2 is the tube. So 1, the radius would be the thickness, the one I'm talking about. So it's likely just going to be, oh no, it's the tube that it's, radius must be the width of it, the width. Yeah, that would make more sense. So we changed it to 1 0.2 instead of 1 0.4. So it's pretty minuscule change. But it gave me the skinny torus I asked for. So I'm going to turn off the orbital camera because we don't need it, right? Actually, no, I'll leave it on there for now. It's fine. Fresh. Okay. We are going to stop our mesh from rotating on 2 axes, and we're just going to have it rotate on 1. So now it's spinning in the air. So the y-axis is left and right. The x-axis is this way. It's super confusing. There we go. Up and down. And the z-axis is... I think it's actually spinning, like the object is spinning. We can check if we hit X, it should be going in 2 different directions. Y. Who cares? We'll figure it out later. It doesn't matter. Because we're going to make it do other stuff. So we're going to add more toruses, tori around it, and then we're going to expand them out so that it's like a giant ring of toruses. All right. Let's add 10 more. No, let's add 11 more to get 12 toruses. offset from the first one out like concentric rings. So this should give us a bunch of toruses and an offset. And then we could use that offset to make a giant cool thing. Then we can make that cool thing do other cool things. Nice. Sure, let's add 11 more toruses, it says. Okay, added radius and color props to the rotating torus to the competition. Create an array with 12 different colors. Okay, cool. So it even colored them for us so we can visualize them. That's nice. Accept. Let's have a look. Hey, it did the thing. This is exactly what I asked for. I'm going to slow down this animation just a little bit. There we go. Yeah. Okay. These toruses look absolutely stuffed together. So let's look at the way that they are. Do we have an offset for these? Can we add a spacing offset for the rings, please? We can adjust the radius calculation to include an offset. This will ensure that each torus is spaced apart from the others. Good, because they're all kind of touching right now, and I want them to be separate. This looks like the Looney Tunes logo. Some of you are probably too young for that. Oh, it's already there. I just have to add more spacing. Okay, let's try it. Let's see if it works. I don't know. What was the change? We changed to really? No, it just makes them fatter. What are you talking about? Doesn't it just make the outside one fatter? Yeah. Oh no, it makes them all fatter. Weird. Yeah, that would give them more spacing. Making them smaller. Okay, that kind of works. 5? 4? Just want to be able to see the air between them, you know? 13? That's better. 12? Hey, that's looking kind of sick. Okay. So, this is cool, but they're all moving together, and that's boring. We have the power of computers with us, so let's make it not boring. Right? Can we offset the rotation of each ring to make a satisfying animation from the center of the ring out? We're going to try some offset rotation. Just taking objects and rotating them and setting up offset rotations will just give you so many cool visualizers. It's fun. It's fun. I assure you it's fun. Okay. This probably isn't actually exactly what I want, but we're going to try it and see what it does. Just see what it's done and see if we like it visualized. Okay. Okay, so it's actually doing exactly what I want. It's just doing it way too fast. That's one thing, is the AI doesn't really understand time like in that capacity, so when it makes an animation like this, sometimes it's LOL. So our rotation speeds here, if we look at these, increasing rotation speed, I have a feeling I'm just double checking there isn't another place where it's, yeah, like I have a feeling if we just add a decimal place to this rotation speed, 0.01, let's slow down. Oh, look at that. Okay, cool. So let's try 0.0015. Ooh, a little too slow. 30? 6. That's not too bad. Okay. Sick. All right, our little rings are intersecting. That drives me insane. So let's have a look at the torus radii, the length, the distance, the adjust the spacing. Maybe I can add more spacing. There we go. Are they more reasonably spaced now? Are they touching? Do we think they're touching? It's so close. I'm going to add just a little bit more spacing. Now they're not touching for sure. Sick. Okay. And then this animation looks great. Ooh, actually, I know what I did on the other animation that made it look even better. Can you separate the rotation speeds controls to the X and Y rotation? So I can set them to different rates, please? So what happened is I just ran out of context. So every now and then it won't respond, and you can be like, "Excuse me, what happened?" And it won't respond. Oh, okay, so it's sort of just woke up. I won't. Yeah, so we don't have to fix it the normal way, but I'll show you how to fix that next time it happens. So sometimes you lose your context. Make sure you click this little arrow and put the file back in so it knows. Is the plural of axes axis? 2 axes? Axes. Certainly, to allow different rotation speeds for X and Y axes, we modify the rotating torus component to accept separate rotation speed X and rotation speed Y properties. So what that's going to let me do is turn one up and turn the other one down, and the animation is a little more cool looking. And just remember, we are looking at a development production thing right now. We are going to get into the look of it very soon and making it look cool. But for now, we just want to see with decent lighting what all the rings are doing, you know, so we can get an idea of the distance apart and stuff before we start taking colors out and making it look all dramatic. Okay, let's try this. Wow. Oh, I see. It goes a little far for. Oh, and they are still touching. Okay, but what I actually want to do here. Okay, can we add two separate sine costs oscillations between the x and y rotation? So instead of just in one direction, they oscillate back and forth. Do it. Use frame hook? Yeah, okay, whatever. Do 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 do. A lot of code, holy cow. All right, added oscillation speed x and oscillation speed y properties. You control the oscillation speed for the x and y axes. Use state and use effect to create a time state to increments at every frame, which is used to calculate the sinusoidal oscillations. Okay. Updated use frame hook to apply the oscillations to the rotation speeds. Created two arrays. This feels like overkill, but let's try it. Yeah, it's actually kind of what I wanted. It's just feels like it's all still going in one direction. Let's find out. Blow it the hell down and find out. Oh. Oh, now I know what they remind me of. They remind me of those wind chime things that you see. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool. What happens if we divide that by 0? Ooh. Oh, that's trippy. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, wow. You can really mess with the oscillation. Okay. Changing values is kind of fun. Okay, and then we'll slow it down even more. Yes, this is the behavior I was looking for. Still just a little fast. Nice, and we'll add just a little bit on here too. And the oscillation is insane on that one, so 0.001. Okay. Nice. Getting some coasting and some moving. And I actually want to increase the speed of the... No, not that one. This one. I do kind of want to get some more wrap around. That's pretty good. Yeah, I like it when it like wraps around itself, doesn't go too far, and then resolves. Yeah, here we go. This is starting to look cool. Okay. What else can we do? Let's get this spacing right. There we go. 0.5 maybe? Cool. Okay, now let's get rid of these stupid colors. So, can we set a gradient from the first ring to the last ring? Starting at one color, going to a second. I'd like the rings to be solid colors. I'd like those colors to lerp from color 1 to color 2. Whoops, I gave you no context. Okay, so we're going to start a new chat just because it seems a little confused. Okay, continue. Are you a gradient? You're not really. Oh, there you go. Oh, you're not a gradient either. What are you talking about? No. First ring is red. Last ring is blue. Every other ring is white. Can you determine why? So yeah, it's our first problem. It's supposed to go from red to blue, but it's going red, white to blue. So let's ask. First ring is red, last ring is blue, every other ring is white. Can you determine why? Torus radii, start color, end color. What'd you change? Color interpolation. The colors are interpolated correctly using the T value, which ranges from 0 to 1. Rounding RGB values. The RGB values are rounded to ensure they are integers, which is necessary for the RGB string format. And color application. The interpolated colors are applied to each ring using the color property. This should ensure that the first ring is red, the last ring is blue, and the immediate rings have a smooth gradient. Well, let's find out if you're right. Whoa, it did it. Okay. That's pretty sick, actually. Pretty sick indeed. So what if the inside one is green? It would be like a tension map. Or no, the other way around. Yeah. That's cool. Okay. I did this because I wanted to make the rings black. Yeah. See that lighting? That's what I want to play with. So right now we have one light. Two lights, actually. So I'm going to ask for a different lighting setup. Instead of our current lighting setup, can we do a try lighting setup? Key, fill, rim. So I'm going to ask for a 3 light setup, you know, the key light, fill light, and rim light behind the sculpture. And that should give us some dramatic lighting around the edges. Added ambient light with low intensity to provide a base level illumination. Key light, a direction light position at 555 with a higher intensity to serve as the main light source. Fill light, one on the other side of the scene for the lower intensity to fill the shadows. And a rim light 10 meters behind the scene, the lower intensity to highlight the edges of the shapes. So let's see if that's actually what happened. Looks pretty good, except to put our colors back to red and blue, which I don't want. I want that. Okay. Yeah, sort of. Sort of. Let's play with the intensity. What does it look like when we crank the key light? A little better. What happens when we really crank the key light? There we go. What about like 5 for the directional light? Okay, that's looking cool too. Like 10 for the point light. That's kind of cool. Okay, so this is looking kind of sick. One other thing I'd like to do is the material that we have. Yes, this Fong material. If we back the shininess off a bit, we might get more of the actual, yeah. So then when it comes into the film, that's cool. Yeah, so that's pretty sick. So yeah, it's really cool because like now I have this cool little thing it exists, and I can go on like GitHub, install GitHub Desktop, sign up, get all the stuff going, right? You just go to GitHub, sign up for GitHub, download GitHub Desktop, log in, start it up, create a new repository, and then just go choose the folder. This might work, it might not. This directory appears to be a Git repo. Would you like to add this repo? Yes. Yes. So because we built everything with npm, it's already got the repo in it. So you just say yes when it asks if you want to use the repo. So we're going to add our Three.js stream repo to thing. So what Git is it lets you commit changes to files and stuff so you can keep track of all your changes. So we're going to call this the initial import. This is the folder we've been working on. We're going to commit that to master. And we're going to publish the repo. Okay. So now this repo exists privately on my GitHub. So if I go to Versal, so yeah, that GitHub.com was the other site I was talking about. Go there, sign up, get an account, download GitHub Desktop off of the GitHub website. And then do the thing I just did, make a new repo and commit it. Now, if you go to your repositories, you'll actually see it. And this is the files we literally just committed. Here's the Silicon source. Here's our little Three.js 3 scene, all that stuff. So go to Versal. Sign up, sign in, do all the things. These will let you deploy your GitHub projects for free. So once you're signed up, you go to your overview, add new project, just pick it, Three.js stream, that's the one we just made. We're going to import that. It's going to look at it. It's going to say, oh, this is a React app. I know how to make this. You want to deploy it? And I do. So now it's building the whole thing, because the beauty of Node package manager is it's got all that package stuff in the JSON ready to go. So once this is all done, it will just spin up the server and you can play with it. First time it has to build the build version, but then after that it actually builds really fast. Done. Go to your dashboard and you can click on this little domain here, Three.js-stream.versal.app. Skaboom. You guys can click that in the chat and try it yourselves. Mouse to click around, move it around, zoom in, zoom out. And what I'll do is I'll clean up the README file and I will make that repo public. So actually, let's do that right now. Let's make that public. So let's go to the cursor editor. So now every change I make in here is going to be reflected in the GitHub desktop. So I can go in and when I make a change I like, I can save that as a revision and then we can always roll back to a working version. So let's go down here to the readme.md, get rid of all this stuff and just say, we made this ring thing on stream with AI. Make it better. Okay. So save that README, and then GitHub will be like, "Oh hey, oh yeah." So you need a git clone. Need to git clone. Where's my repo? Yeah, git clone that. Where was I? Cursor. Git clone that. And then cd 3.js stream npm start. You may have to do npm install first. I can't remember exactly. Yeah. You'll need Node and Node.js and npm. That's actually the literal URL. Nice. Anybody know what the markdown for a URL is? Oh, text. Okay, cool. That should do it. All right, let's save that. GitHub. Yeah. Updated README. Commit to master, push origin. There we go. So now if we go back to GitHub, now I can go to trying to remember how to make it public. Code security? No. Collaborators? One sec. Ah, there we go. So it's going to not be a private repo anymore. We're going to manage. I don't think it's good enough to be a template repository. Yeah, no, I just want to make it not... how do you make it not private, though? I could have sworn there was an easy way to do this. Ah, manage. Oh, I think it's down here. Yeah, change visibility. Change to public. Sorry, guys. I'm new. I feel new here sometimes. Okay, repo's open now. Go to my repo. Okay. Do you guys want to play with this repo? Here it is. Oh, you know what? I think I need to add hopefully that works. Fixed, maybe. All right, let's go back, have a look. Yeah, okay, kind of. Still screwed up somehow. 1, 2, 3. Missed one, did I? Ah, yes. That would do it. Updated again. Guess I could just edit it with this, you know? Could have sworn I just fixed that. Guess not. I need to do a code block. How'd it work? Okay. Play with it, make stuff. I want you guys to try it out. I want you to try. There's a bunch of different plugins for this too in VS Code, like I think it's called Continue and a few others. So if you don't want to pay for Cursor, there are freer and local ways to do it. But the one thing you will probably end up paying for is DeepSeek, OpenRouter. You just got to pay for the compute, just the way it is. But yeah, OpenRouter is really cool. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. There's a lot of models on there you can play with and try out. Cursor's awesome. I've built 4 or 5 projects with it the last few days. It's really sick, and yeah, I want you guys to take that project, fork it or whatever, and play with it and make some cool stuff with it, and then send it back to me and show me. You can even send a pull request if you want. I'll try and add it. We can just mess around with this repo. Maybe come back to it and try and add some of the stuff you guys have added with AI and see if we can actually iterate on a project together with AI. Maybe it's possible. Maybe it isn't. Let's find out. But thanks again, everybody, for coming out. Appreciate it. I'm going to cut it here because it's just programming, and we made rings. The rings are cool. But yeah, you can go in and play with them on Three.js-stream versal.app. They might not run on a Mac. They might not run on Firefox, but they should run on everything else. Or phones, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to play with it more. But this is just a very basic example of what's possible, and that's, Three.js. So, like, you want to make a comfy node, you want to make a cursor node, you can make all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, let your imaginations run wild and try it out, and don't get too frustrated. Ask it what the error messages mean, and if it keeps going around in a circle, start a new chat. Then yammer, and sometimes you can ask it questions like, are you going to come up with a new solution for this, yes or no? Because sometimes it'll go in circles. But yeah, we're on a whole new plane right now because I'm an intermediate programmer. I'm not a good programmer. I'm not even a real programmer. But with AI, I'm a lot more powerful and a lot less scared of trying stuff. So yeah, let it empower you to try some cool stuff. Could you code something like this into a comfy UI node so it can generate crazy inputs like this? Yes, absolutely. They already exist. Shader Toy and GLSL shaders. There's already nodes for that stuff. You can look it up. Joviex has some, a few other people. Right on. Thanks everybody for coming out. Hit up the Patreon, hit up the Discord. Show me what you made. I want to see it. Yeah, I'll be back soon with some more AI stuff. This has been really cool. A bit of a departure from our normal streams, but yeah, we accomplished a whole little program here. So let's go. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you all real soon. Bye-bye.